Hello. Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to our Sunday morning live stream, where we will be doing a collective weekly tarot oracle card reading. Good morning, Donna. Nice to see you again. Good morning, Yadira. Brigitte, good evening. Wonderful to have all of you. I scheduled this last minute, so glad that people will be able to be notified. Hello, Christiane, welcome. And Nancy, hello. How has everybody's weekend been? How has your 2026 been so far? We're 11 days in. Is everybody still remembering the new year? Or have things already settled into the norm? Oh, wonderful, Donna. So do I. I have been spending every Sunday morning here for almost 5 years. I would say, well, yeah, let's say 4.5. So I love our time together. I love starting my week off this way, being here with you, allowing Spirit to be with us and speak to us and through me. And yeah, good morning, Ileana and Amy. So I think I know almost everybody here, which is wonderful. And if there is anybody new, I'm Natalie, spiritual life coach and Reiki master teacher. Hi, J.E. Thank you for that feedback. So I don't know if you heard me just say a moment ago that I scheduled this last minute. So Insight Timer has changed. You used to have to schedule within 48 hours out, mandatory. So they have loosened that requirement. I think you can do instant live streams now, although I don't know if that's here yet. But I think having less of a buffer, I created this one yesterday, so I created it very close to the launch time. So I imagine that's why that happened. So appreciate hearing that. Yeah. Good morning, Trish. Welcome. So, as I said, Natalie, spiritual life coach, Reiki master teacher. Give me a follow here on Insight Timer. You can click this link on the screen if you care to. Appreciate any support. And you can check out all my meditations here. I have many that have been played thousands of times over the years. You can join my group, Natalie's Healing Circle, as well. And if you feel called to, you can connect with me on my website, social media, and I'm also live streaming this in my YouTube channel right now. So you can also join there, and all my replays are available over there. If you want help navigating any of that, send me a message. So, yeah, let's start as we usually do with a card from Michael Singer. Thank you, Brigitte. Appreciate that. It helps me when people follow, interact, helps my presence grow here on Insight Timer, which helps me to reach more people and serve and help others even more. So thank you so much. So is there anybody here that does not know who Michael Singer is? He's best known for this book, The Untethered Soul. And a highlight for me was meeting him over a year ago now. Ooh, amazing, Trish. I'm excited for you to discover Michael Singer. The Untethered Soul is kind of a modern spiritual classic. And he also has an amazing memoir. I usually recommend people that don't know, start with the memoir, Surrender Experiment. And two, if you're already deep into your spiritual journey, Untethered Soul, you can jump to that. They're two different, styles of book. And they're both very powerful and profound. So these cards are from his Untethered Soul book, and they're quote cards. So I usually like to start with that. I also have a live stream series I've done in the past that's in my YouTube channel and my playlists, where we listen to Michael Singer talks and discuss them. And so that's very powerful. And if anybody wants a link to that, or just to, if you're interested and curious to start out with him, I can send you one of his talks. Yeah, and he's all about just releasing your own suffering through present moment practices, and switching your paradigm from living from needing something from the outside world to make you happy, to learning to come from the inside is the only thing that matters, however we're feeling on the inside. So given that, this quote card is perfect. It says, enthusiasm, joy, and love. If you can feel that all the time, then who cares what happens outside? Enthusiasm, joy, and love. If you can feel that all the time, then who cares what happens outside? So, let's take a breath together. Hi, Kat. Welcome. Yes, I was just sharing with the others that I scheduled this sort of last minute, so it didn't really, I had some people RSVP, but because of that, it didn't show up the way it normally does. So glad that you're here, Kat. So we're going to start with the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck. I had the privilege and joy to be with somebody in our community last week who won the holiday gifted session with me. I know many of you were there for that Christmas Day live, in which I had a giveaway that I gave away a gifted session with me, and had a very powerful and wonderful tarot reading with this person, and this deck was the main deck used. So let's see what Spirit has to start us out with for this week. And if anybody would like a one-on-one reading, I do offer that one-on-one as a service that I offer, as well as my signature Reiki Ancestral Clearing session, which we also get a taste of the energy healing at the end of this session today. So let's see what Spirit has for us today. Oh, interesting. So this card was facing the wrong way in the deck. So this is the card, and it's interesting because the coloring of this card is very similar to the back of the card. So it almost blended in. So I love it when those sorts of synchronicities happen in readings. So this card is called She Feels, She Knows. She feels, she knows, and you can see on the card she's deeply feeling into her internal self. She's knowing. And so that's the guidance to start out with for you all this week, is just really dropping into the body, dropping into present moment awareness, dropping into the interior of just the universe within. You know, we all have a universe within ourselves. All of the cells of the body, the organs, the structures, and, you know, smaller and smaller down to the energy. And really having a body in the experience of it being solid is an illusion. It is not real. There is more space than there is matter in everything, and so that includes our body. So if you zoom down to, you know, the smallest sizes of things, there's vast space. And so that also goes along with this Michael Singer message about if you can feel enthusiasm, joy, and love on the inside, who cares what's happening outside? And that's quite, you know, extreme, and it's a great goal to reach. Because of course we care what happens outside, and it's nice to think about that. So when we look at this card, She Feels, She Knows, you can just see her in her eyes, that deep knowing. You know, everything you need to know is already within you. In my primary work that I do, it's one-on-one life coaching, and one of my main intentions with what I do is supporting people to become, or not become, but remember their sovereignty. Remember they are sovereign beings. And so I'm inviting you all to remember that right now. You are sovereign. What that means is you are autonomous, you are whole, and you have ultimate power. You are an empowered being of light and love. And the thing is, we come into this human experience forgetting all of that. And so the journey is, you know, the remembering and the unbecoming of what we were conditioned with in childhood. So feeling into the interior of the body, grounding every moment into that awareness, getting really curious, like, wow, how does it feel right now to just tune into the experience of having a body? We are not the body. I didn't say that, and isn't that interesting? We don't say, I am a hand. We say, my hand. This is not who we are. The same with the body. We are temporarily housed in this body. And just tuning into that ultimate truth can be liberating, freeing, grounding. You know, this is our home for now. We can feel the heaviness of the body, we can feel the weight, we can feel the energy movement the cloud of sensation. If you start practicing feeling into this, you can, it gets easier if it feels difficult. Because, we're just immersed in this sea of sensation as a body. One of my favorite analogies is thinking about fish in the ocean. And, they were born there. They never leave. Usually they die there. They don't even know what water is. They have no concept of water because there's never been not water, unless, whatever a fisherman takes them out of the water, and then all of a sudden, oh my gosh, this is different. Where am I? What is this non-water? Right? So using that same concept. And we could say death is like that. Although honestly, for me, my belief is that, when we die, we remember everything and we know that we've been there before. So messages are very deep this morning already. So what do you know? What do you know to be true for yourself? Is there a question on your mind this week? Is there a dilemma? Is there a decision point? Is there a problem or a stuck place or a challenge? You don't know which way to go. It's great to get support, and the invitation is to feel into your inner guidance. Trust your inner guidance. What is your inner guidance saying? Feel into that. Hi Nancy, welcome. Feel and know. Tune in. I'm going to look at the guidebook and see if there's any additional messages that want to be shared. It is saying that there is an insight that is going to come for you. You are being asked to honor this insight, and you will know what it is at the right time. Your heart will tell you. So you're being asked to rely upon the clarity that's coming to you now or has just recently come. This card is bringing you guidance, especially about a long range or long-term development. Something that's far bigger than the immediate situation, issue, or moment is of importance. You're being asked to think in terms of long-term happiness. So this is very important. So a more significant manifestation is coming to you according to your life path and purpose. And right now you're in a stage of preparation and of building a foundation that will hold you strong and centered as your creative journey unfolds and your life path becomes ever more brilliant and luminous. So, good morning. Hello, Catherine. So again, it's this being in your journey, being in your experience, relishing the journey. I swam with the dolphins in my 30th birthday, which is now almost 20 years ago this year. And I got a magnet at the place, and it said, the journey is the reward. And that always sticks with me. We're always rushing to get to the next thing, as is normal for us humans. And when we can slow down, enjoy the journey, relish the journey, relish just this moment, being in this body, feeling into our heart center, appreciating what's here right now. In my morning meditations, I have started doing this HRV breathing. It's timed breathing, and I'm breathing in and out appreciation for everything in the moment. And cultivating that energy of appreciation is helping me to feel more appreciative in my days. So that brings a sense of fulfillment and pleasure to where it's not, I don't need the manifestation to happen. Not to say it won't, but I'm not clinging to it. Wonderful, Yadira, Brigitte. Oh, interesting, Kat. Hits home for you, Nancy. Hello, Laura, welcome. Oh, funny, Kat. I did it in the Key West. I don't remember which key, but I was in Key West when I did that. Maybe it was the same one. Hi, Bev. Glad to have you. So, yeah, I just feel like Spirit's saying, like, just really slow down. I mean, look at this card. Look at the quality of her presence. Look at the quality in her eyes. And it's like, you all know this. We're here in Insight Timer. We're spiritual. And it's like the mind is like, yeah, that's boring. Like, let's get to the fun stuff. You know, let me do the things. Let me do the ritual. You know, let me do the bright and shiny. Like, it's like a bright and shiny object syndrome. It's like, oh, present moment, being in the body, boring. How many people can relate to that? I know I can. My mind is like, no, I want the bright and shiny object to get me the thing. That's more fun. I can do something. And it's like, everything we do is imbued with our state of being. Being comes first. Ooh, interesting, Yadira. I'd like to hear more about what you learned. What is the distinction between gratitude versus appreciation? For me, I love the energy of appreciation more. I've never really thought too much about it, but I think all the weight that is put onto be grateful for what you have, gratitude lists, you know, all of these doing things around gratitude, which gratitude's great, and this is just for me, it feels like kind of something I have to add to my to-do list that feels bogged down. But yet, if I think about appreciation, it feels light, it feels open, it feels expansive. I can appreciate many things around me. I can be grateful for many things around me too. That maybe it's just the weight of the energy. Wonderful, Donna. Yeah, so it's really powerful now in my morning meditations of just breathing in this energy in and out of my heart, breathing in the actual tangible quality of what appreciation feels like. And it can be love, it can be joy, it can be gratitude, it can be peace. I just am magnetized to this appreciation energy. Could be compassion. And I mean, I can appreciate each breath. And it expands and opens my heart. Yeah. Wonderful. So I think it was last week we got the wonderful tower. It's come up a couple times with some clients and things I've met with this week. So let's see what clarification Spirit has. You know, if we think about the journey as the reward, I did a very deep, long year or year and a half, 2-year Conversations with God book study here in Insight Timer, which you can find in my YouTube playlists. But, you know, one of the things, as there were so many things that stick out from that book, it's like we're on an infinite journey. It never ends. This becoming and unbecoming. And so we're never going to arrive, you know, because there's always going to be the next level. And like talking about the journey of the soul. So to ground into that truth for me helps me to be like, okay, doesn't mean I don't do anything and I just lay on the couch all day. And this striving energy, always needing to get somewhere and improve because I'm not enough now where I am, and all of that. It can help just release that, like, it helps me come back into the present moment and into the body and be like, I mean, this is all there is right here. Wonderful. Great that this idea of gratitude and appreciation is opening up some insights for you all. Bev, thank you. Brigitte. Okay. Nice. So we've got the Nine of Pentacles and the Three of Swords. What juxtapositioned energy here. So the way I read this message is like, so Nine of Pentacles is abundance, is material and physical and financial abundance, which is interesting just with, you know, what's coming up in the reading. You can see all of this wonderful money, the pentacles here on the tree, and they're easy for her to reach. They're not far away. She has to reach up, but it's, you know, this is low-hanging fruit. It's easy to reach this abundance, and she's joyful, and it's fun, and it's light. And she's already harvested some of her abundance here. Oh, I've never noticed this before. And I've had this deck for 4 years. These are bundles of dried herbs, like hanging and drying. I thought always they were like tree branches. But yeah, it looks like rosemary and maybe sage and different dried herbs hanging. And she's also harvested some of those in her bucket. So to me, it just kind of is another form of abundance, if you will, and bring some more magic to it. So the thing is that there's also this energy, and in context of reading these together, there's disappointment here for some of you who have felt that you've had disappointment in your life. You've reached for the abundance and you were disappointed. You were bitterly disappointed. You were let down. Things fell through in the past. Or maybe you've never been able to reach this, and maybe you've been on the spiritual journey and you've heard over and over all of this talk of abundance, manifestation, but yet it's not happened for you. So give an emoji if any of that resonates, or a heart in the chat. And it's like the position of the cards is you see this, but this is underneath. So this is influencing your abundance. It's almost like conscious mind and subconscious mind. Consciously, you want it. You want the success. You want the abundance of love, of money, of things, of freedom, of travel, of all of that. And yet there's this underneath that's hiding and influencing you, the shadow. So some of you can relate. I can relate to this. And see, the thing is too, and this is really important for those on this journey in the spiritual realm and spiritual development, personal development, self-help, all of these things that we're up to. It's so easy to get into the spiritual whitewashing and spiritual bypassing, where it's like, focus on this and ignore this. And it's not that that's not true, but if you haven't gotten the results, you might need to look at this. You know, Carl Jung talks about the shadow. And we all have a shadow self. And it's all of the shit we've stored inside over years, over lifetimes, whatever. We don't look at it. We try to ignore it, but yet that is a lot of what influences our current life, our conscious thoughts. So we don't want to like mire ourselves and get lost in victim and stay here. But you know, this specific message is just like, some of you may have been trying and not reaching it and feeling like this and wondering what's going on. So this could be shining the light on an aspect of that. And yeah, Nancy, if you feel disappointments first, then abundance. However the message resonates for you, you get to use your inner guidance and trust that. This is a collective reading. So if your interpretation feels more true for you, please take that. Yadira, wonderful. You know, we all have the shadow. We all have it. You know, if you feel totally clear on the inside and you're like, nah, that doesn't resonate, then great, take that. Don't get into your head and start being like, oh no, blah, 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 right? Which makes sense if that happens. you know, as within, so without. Everything comes from, as I said, our state of being. What's your dominant state of being in every moment? You know, some of you might have a mismatch. Some of you might be like, I want this, but if you're feeling like this often, you know, these don't match. And it's not to point out and saying you're doing it wrong and you're bad and you're not enough and, oh no, get scared. Like, no, none of that. And if that's happening, that's okay, right? We want to bring compassion. So I picked up the deck, and we've got, I'm going to take what's happening here as part of the reading. Bottom of the deck, Six of Wands. This is worldly success. We've gotten this card a lot. So I feel like for some of you, there's a fear of success. And I know I've had this. When I hear fear of success, I'm like, fuck that. No, I'm not afraid of success. Like, give me my damn success. But the more successful I become, there's an uncomfortability with it. It's unfamiliar. And then it does bring up like, oh no, the other shoe is going to drop. How many can relate to the energy of, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop? It's like a saying. And that comes from childhood trauma. And that comes from disappointments. So as I said, this to me in this reading feels like a card of disappointment. So if you've had disappointment before, that can be coming up. Yeah, just reading through some of the comments. Ooh, Donna, interesting. And Trish, wow. I can so relate, and that reminds me of one of, you know, a story I've told many times before in here. So before I became a life coach 5 years ago, I had the same job for almost 13 years. And for the last 5 years of the job, I hated it. And I'm not saying, you know, this is just my story. I hated it. And my soul hated it. And I felt stuck and trapped. And yet I felt like, because I worked remote all over the world, it was an amazing job, blah, blah, blah. And on December 21st, 2020, which was the night of the Great Conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn, the closest they'd been in 600 years, I was living in Thailand. I was at a kirtan on the beach in a ceremony for this Great Conjunction, and a few days before, my work had scheduled a meeting at midnight, well, 12 noon in the US, but midnight for me, with the head of HR and my boss. I was fucking terrified. And I was like, oh my God, what is this meeting? You know, just generally I was scared. And because of this Great Conjunction, I'm like, something is going to happen. And it happened. At that time, my worst fear came true. They said, if you don't move back to the US, you don't have a job anymore. I had worked remote for 8 years, full-time remote, 8 years at that point. And it was the height of COVID, and they said, you have to pay your own way. You have to start in the office in 6 weeks. I mean, I hadn't lived in the US in 8 years at that point. So I get it. And that turned out to be the best thing that ever happened to me, because I'm sitting here with you as a result of that. So even in thinking about, these two cards, that message fits. It was like I had this horrible moment, but on the other side of it was this Nine of Pentacles. And at the bottom was this Six of Wands, where there was success and victory. So I usually don't get subtle with the cards like this, but I'm feeling that these are part of the reading because we have the Fool coming out. Trust fall. You get to trust whatever that is. And I did that in my story I just told you. My soul, I considered their offer for 5 seconds, so probably 2 seconds, but I'll just say 5. And immediately I was like, hell no, no way. Am I ever gonna, I don't care that it's the height of COVID. I had just started my life coaching journey the week before, and I was like, okay, God, I guess you want me to start coaching now. So I had a trust fall. I trusted the unfolding and trusted the universe. So however this fits for your story and situation, take it. If things don't fit, leave it. But there's a new beginning. The Fool is 0, card number 0. And then we've got the Star, transformation. And then we've got the Ten of Cups, beautiful energy. Yeah, so these all came out as well. Queen of Wands, King of Cups. So this might be a partnership for some of you. You might relate more to Queen of Wands or the King of Cups. So there's some sort of partnership here. I mean, this could be, a love partnership, a romantic partnership. And if the the tangible romantic partnership idea doesn't resonate, I always say that it's partnership with spirit, partnership with love affair with God. So yeah, there's something brewing here as well. And if this is about a job thing, I mean, maybe you're gonna meet a partner. But it's like there's lots of gifts in this. It's not pleasant and it's not fun when this is here. And yeah, if I even think about the story I told you, my job, I chose not to go. It was a very jarring, experience. On the other side was a new beginning and a total transformation. So however that fits for your situation, there's beautiful energies here. These beautiful energies are like, you have to unlock them from here. Awesome, Yadira. Wonderful. Brigitte, partnership. Trish, you left a job 15 years. Yeah, so I mean, trust the process. Trust your inner guidance, your feeling, your knowing. And amazing, you're going to be on a podcast. So glad you were here. And two, I feel called to offer to those of you who've never had a gifted session with me before, my powerful visioning process. So it's a place where we would really slow down in a one-on-one conversation. And if anything is sticking out for you as far as these sorts of themes of, you know, of where is this in your life? We'll look at what that is, and then we'll look at all the other cards are amazing, you know, and it's like, where are you going? So it can be a wonderful time to slow down, evaluate, look at the Three of Swords energy for you, where you feel stuck, where you feel challenged. Look at where you want to go and what you want to create, you know, with all of this beautiful energy, and then what are the things that hold you back. So it's a very powerful process. So send me a message if you feel that nudge to do so. You can send me a message here. Website, all my links are in my profile here. And Brigitte, that's a great question. You don't know how. So that's something that I help people with as well. And a powerful distinction and thought is, what's more important is the wanting to. The how will take care of itself. That you'll figure out the how. If you want it bad enough, you'll figure out the how. It doesn't matter. If people get stuck in the how, then usually I help them look at, okay, actually, what is your commitment level? If it's like, oh, but I'm going to have to do all this, or I don't know how to do it, and then they get stuck in it, then that means that the want to was not strong enough. Because everything is figure-outable. And just looking at this star card, that energy of appreciation we talked about, she's holding this, you know, against her heart, this string to this star that's transforming. I feel like for some of you to do this practice I told you about, what I'm doing, where you meditate and just breathe in and out of your heart and breathe in and out that energy of appreciation or whatever you want, is going to help you really transmute any Three of Swords energy into this transformation. And again, you can see it's like this broken heart is this beautiful light, and there's a journey to get here, and it can happen, you know, in an instant, when you have a shift in perception, when you have a miracle in that. And it's like holding both parts, loving this version of yourself that's heartbroken and disappointed and let down and sad and grieving and angry and lonely and tired. It's okay. So we're going to do a few minutes of energy healing to close for today. It's been a very powerful, wonderful session. Thank you all for joining. And we can go ahead and close our eyes. And just let's feel into our hearts. And let's just imagine we're breathing directly in through the heart center. And just breathing in whatever energy feels uplifting, light, open, expansive. What quality is that for you? Joy, love, peace, compassion, appreciation, gratitude, acceptance, serenity, calm, anything. As I channel the Reiki energy, so you breathe in this elevated emotion. And just get really present and slow with the in-breath and really feel each increment as it moves in. And imagine you're breathing in that quality directly. And then as you breathe out, you can actually breathe out that energy into the world. Appreciation for the world, joy, love, peace for the world, in the world. So breathing into the heart. I also imagine when I'm breathing in, I'm connecting to Source and sending that energy, connecting with it as well. Appreciating my connection with Source, and then when I breathe out, appreciating my surroundings, appreciating the world, appreciating my world, all of the people, all of the things. Also, when I breathe in, breathing in appreciation for this body and the health that this body has, and how well it works and functions. As you breathe out, imagine the energy is moving 360 degrees. So out from the center of your heart, all around you. So moving out into the world behind, on both sides, above and below. You're just being this beacon of energy. You might notice the energy of a smile in your mouth, in your heart. You can imagine a smile on the inside. The energy of a smile. And we want to even smile at, that Three of Swords energy, however that maybe manifesting just showing that part love, showing that energy, loving acceptance. It's okay that it's here. It's understandable. However that part of you feels, it's okay. It makes sense. And just breathing in that beautiful energy. In and out of the heart. Infinite Creator, source of all that is, we love you. Thank you for loving us. We humbly ask that you open, bless, expand, lead, guide, and direct us into your perfect light, love, and life, and always, completely, now and forever, please and thank you. For everyone hearing this message, for all of our family members, all of our relationships, all of our ancestors, and all of their relationships through all relevant time, space, and dimension. For all hurts, wrongs, judgments, and burdens, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, sexual, and financial, through thought, word, or deed, please help us all forgive each other, forgive ourselves, forgive all people, and all people forgive us, please and thank you. Please help us love and bless each other, love and bless ourselves, be at peace with each other and at peace with ourselves, please and thank you, please and thank you, please and thank you. You can gently, slowly, easily come back to a wakeful state if you'd like. Feeling that energy in the heart. Hi, Monica. Thank you all so much for joining today. If you'd like to connect deeper, follow your heart's call, send me a message. I offer my energy healing sessions with Reiki and Ancestral Clearing, one-on-one as well as one-on-one tarot oracle readings. And as I said before, if you haven't had a gifted session with me and you'd like to receive the visioning process I mentioned, it's very powerful. If you're feeling stuck, ready to look ahead, if there's a challenge that feels overwhelming, we can gain altitude on that, so send me a private message. Thank you, Donna, for the donation. Thank you, Trish. So if anybody cares to donate, it's always welcomed. Thank you, Catherine. Glad you were here. And you know, the more we go out into the world as, you know, living from our light, from our heart, the more we bring, you know, healing to the world. And, you know, this is the collective as well. There's a collective pain body. There's a collective broken heart. When we work on, you know, ourselves in this way, it heals the whole. So, and please follow me if you haven't already. Stay tuned for future live streams. I will be scheduling them for the remainder of the month. And look forward to connecting with you. Again, if you want to follow me on social, you can. you can find all that info here in my profile and insight timer. You are welcome, Laura. And everyone, thank you so much. Sending you lots of love and namaste.